What's up? It's your boy Dwayne Griffin, aka Mr. Group Homes, coming back at you with another episode of Group Home Millionaires, episode number 4. How about that? So I want to tell you guys about Sober University, and I created this company to help adults suffer from the disease of addiction. And just like Boys in the Hood, remember when Trey picked a baby out the street and took it to the house and the lady asked about drugs? I seen that almost every day in our community. So this is why I got into Sober University, to save these adults that I saw. Not only people in my community, but in my own home. So after establishing a great rapport in the community with the adults with developmental disabilities, why not? I invested money into my company, Sober University. And I'm going to go over some of the first steps I did to start this company. So with my second entity, Sober University, I'm going to go a little bit into more how I started the house and give you guys some details in exactly what I did. So number one, I acquired it. Shout out to the DS Group, my man Dante Sanders. He had a home off Martin Luther King. Dante is another one of my teammates from high school. Played football at the University of Wisconsin, and his brother played for the Cleveland Browns, Darnell Sanders. Shout out to Big Bro. Moving forward, he gave me the green light to start my group home business, aka Sober Home, inside of his facility. Again, I didn't have a lot of money, but I had some money to invest this time. So with that being said, I leased the property, and a lot of people always ask questions about whether you should buy a home or lease a home. Me, I like the leasing part because I was getting into a field I didn't really know about, okay? And if I would have bought that house, that would have been deeper liability versus me leasing the home for 1 year and walking away with my wins and losses. So I decided to lease the home, 2-year lease, and this is some of the negotiating issues that some people run into as far as asking property owners and property managers to lease their property or to buy their property. I didn't have that problem because it was a friend of mine, but however, I have helped people in the past lease their property or have the language to know how to do it. First of all, one thing I don't do when I walk into a property is I tell the property owner that I would like to use this as a group home. Because two things happen when you say you would like to use this as a group home. They either ask for more money over here or they run for the door. I don't need to do not one of these two. I need you to meet me right in the middle. So with that being said, I always say independent living. This looks great for my independent living model. My assisted living model, something of that nature. I try to stay away from the word group home because sometimes that word comes with a negative connotation as well. So when you talk about having those relationships with the property owners, real estate agents, things of that nature, it can be a negative connotation when you use that word group home because it comes with not only things that they heard in the air, in the salon, in the barbershop, but also personal experiences. So you do have situations where people's houses have been damaged severely, fights is broken out, and even deaths. So, you try to explain to the landowner that, one, your house is going to be 24-hour maintenance, 24-hour management inside, and as well as cameras being provided, and try to give them that comfortability. So another thing that you really want to do is offer them more money when it comes to that. So here we go. If you're looking for a property, let's say we're going on Zillow, it's $1,000. The property is $1,000. You take Mr. Group Homes with you to evaluate the property. I walk through the property, and you guys can check out my Instagram, and you can actually see me walking through properties with different students. And I might say 2 beds on that wall, 2 beds on that wall, 2 beds on that wall. We got 6. I usually try to get about 8 to 10 beds in the house because at that 8 to 10 beds, if we paying $1,000, it's going to be $400 per bed when it comes to the sober living model. This is only the sober living model, guys. Only the sober living. All right. So with the sober living model, you're going to get about $400 per person. So if you get 10 beds at $400, let's do the math, y'all. 10 beds at $400, that's $4,000. How much are you paying for rent? $1,000. That means $3,000 profit. All right? So that's a $3,000 profit, right? So let's get this now. What if you went to Mr. Sanders and said, hey, Mr. Sanders, how about this? Do you have any more properties? And he says, yes. Like, listen, don't price gouge me. Keep me at 1,000, man. We can continue this model for a long time. Once you start recruiting your guys to come from the different facilities, to come inside your home, and that's a lot of groundwork. Doing a lot of different phone calls that I'll teach you guys about on another episode. But it's very important that you have these relationships, because now you have unflowing guys coming through the house, and now you're starting to see, and we run into all types of individuals coming inside the home. And when I say all types, we got engineers, former athletes, doctors, all the above. So not only, we're not thinking about the 1990s, that crackhead look. We're talking about some professional people that fell on bad times. And we're here at Sober University. We're not here to judge. We're just here to help. However, that professional doesn't want to go into their field anymore. They want to serve the sober living community. So guess what you do? You employ that person. You empower that person to be the house father. And guess what? You have so many guys that come through like that. Now you take that one guy, put him in a new house, and now we're starting that same model again. 1 person, 2 person, 3 person, all the way to 10. $400 a head, $4,000 a month, and so on and so on. So now that we duplicated the process, that's not even including grant money. So a couple years back, our state in Ohio, they sued the opioid companies. As you guys know, opioid addiction is not only in the black communities like crack cocaine was, but it's in every community. Rich, poor, middle class, all the above. They sued the opioid companies and received a lot of funding. And again, like I said before, success leaves clues. And I knew that it was some funding available. So we reached out with some of my board members to be able to be a part of the Cleveland Adams Board. Adams Board is Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Board. And we received grant funding for our home. So not only were we able to fund the house with the grant money that we received, but we also was able to establish a salary for myself, a CEO salary, an admin salary for my wife, and an admin salary for my drop-in manager, Mr. Larry Holmes. Shout out, Larry. Let's get it. So with receiving those grants, a huge and vital part to receiving those grants was Miss Kendra Anderson of Anderson Consulting. She not only helped me form my 501c3, which is a nonprofit organization, but she helped me with the marketing plan. She helped me form my board, which is phenomenal. And also, she helped me with a lot of different applications that I need to fill out. So huge shout out to Miss Anderson Consulting, Kendra Anderson. She really helped us get in position to be not only be able to seek the right information in this field and to really move forward in a positive way, so we be able to make a huge impact. So once I received the keys to the house, I had my manager in place. I had the grant writer working on the grants. And remember, I talked about putting the right people in the right position. So I had the manager in place, the grant writer writing their grants, and now I had this beautiful home that I had to furnish. So again, always remember that, you don't have to always use all your money that you have. Damon John had a great book that I used to listen to, audiobook called The Power of Broke. And the Power of Broke refers to you being able to use your resources when you don't have any money. So when you don't have a lot of money, you got to use your resources. They got free grant writing programs with the Urban League. They got a company here called ECDI that my man Larice Purnell, showed me exactly, he hooked me up with them, and they give out funding and stuff like that. You have a number of different programs, not only in the city of Cleveland, but in the entire nation that'll help you out. So using that power of broke, I was able to go on Facebook Marketplace, offer up to furnish my house. So that's what I did. So, I did a video walkthrough of the house, but that's how I really started, and I staged the house first. So after I staged the house and got all the beds in place, I took pictures of it, and I went on Fiverr, and I got my marketing done with it. So I staged the house, took pictures of the house, and then I went on Fiverr, and they put the pictures with the words that I needed for Sober University, and we got that marketing created. So that was really the last part that I needed before I started marketing to the different government entities, and that's how I got started with that. So after I started marketing to the companies, there's a number of companies that you can get to. So I'm dropping dimes for people that's in the sober living right now. So detox facilities, behavioral health places, the drug courts, it's homeless shelters. That's 4 places. Psychiatric hospitals. So that's 5 different places. The VA, that's 6 different places that you can possibly, I just dropped a dime on y'all. Hope y'all listen, because that's 6 different places that you can build relationships with the social workers, the outtake specialists, the housing provider, whoever. You gotta call in. You gotta ask for these people. If they not answering the phone, kick in the door. Let's get it. After you made those calls, shout out those emails with your marketing material. You start setting up tours to come to your house. Next thing you know, your phone will start ringing off the hook. Believe me and trust me, it's going to happen. After you run through the numbers, sacrifice. If I made 10 calls on Monday, 10 calls on Tuesday, and I did it Monday through Friday, 10 times 5, that's 50 calls. You're going to get 10 calls back, believe me when I tell you. So make sure you put enough action into your business so you can receive the numbers that you need to fill up your house. So, boom, after that, go ahead. I start receiving individuals, more individuals that I could take in. I had 10 beds. It got filled up, and that's when we really started flowing. The last part, after you set up this nice house, you got the furniture in place, you got the grants flowing in, you got your manager in place, all the guys. Programming is one of the most important pieces to having a group home, because you can have a nice house, but you want to provide a home for these guys. And there's a difference between a house and a home. MK Sony once said that a house is made of brick and mortar, but a home is made of love and the people that reside in it. So make sure you provide them with a beautiful home. So programming is a major key. So who are we dealing with? We're dealing with people that's disengaged with their kids. Fatherhood Initiative program. Guys want to go get CDLs, want to go back and get their high school diploma, GED program. You don't necessarily have to provide these programs, but again, link up with the people who does provide these programs and services. Right now, my guys go to NORA, which is Northern Ohio Recovery Association. They go there every single day. That is their programming. From about 8:30 in the morning to about 1 p.m. Make sure you get your guys into group therapy or some type of programming so they can extend their betterment of life and be able to graduate back into society like Sober University wants you to. What's up, guys? So I just dropped some dimes on you about how I got started in the sober business. Please stay tuned for episode number 5. We're going to really start to get some guests in, and I can't wait to see you guys on the other side of Group Home Millionaires. Start your group home today.